All right, so should you buy the new Epson EcoTank printers that were just released in 2025? 2980, the 3950, and the 4950 were released just this year. And so in this video, we're going to be exploring whether you should upgrade if you have an older Epson EcoTank model, and what would be the benefits, some of the pros and cons, and what are some of the new features that you have with these new Epson EcoTank printers. We're going to be covering that here in this video. Hey, what is going on? The printer guy here, and in this video, I'm going to be covering the new Epson EcoTank printers and sharing with you the new features that these printers have that could benefit you, and whether you should upgrade to the new Epson EcoTank printer lineup. If this video ends up being helpful, please make sure to like. Any questions at all, comment below, and if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. All right, so really quick, before we get into the meat of this video, I wanted to talk about different models and the progression of the models and what that does with features. So really there are three main models. And so there's the 2000 model, there's the 3000 model, and then there's the 4000 model. There should be a graphic up on the screen showing you the progression of those models. And of course, there's some that are kind of in between, and then of course some that are higher. For example, the Epson EcoTank 15000 is much higher and has a lot more features. But the point of this progression is from 2000 up to 15000, there are more features that are added. And more specifically, when you go from the 2000, let's say the 2850, which is a printer you may be familiar with, when you're going from the 2850 to the 3850, you have more features. And then from the 3850 to the 4850, there are even more features. The 4850 is really one of the top models when it comes to the Epson EcoTank lineup. It's one of the more popular ones. And so every generation, you started out with the 2550, 2650, 2750. We are now at the 7th gen, which is the 2980. They left out the 50 on the 2000 model, but we have the 3950 and the 4950. I am going to be reviewing those three main models. I've already reviewed the 2980. That video is coming out soon on this channel, so make sure to subscribe to see that. Now, the 3950 I have here actually in the studio. I'm actually in the process of filming this one, and I will be doing the 4950. Now, having already done some reviews and taken a look at these new printers, I want to talk about some of the new features compared with the older models. Now, these are features that really are going to be newer than all of the older models. So none of the older models would have these new features. There will be video chapters down below if you wanted to skip around. Even at this point, you may have already skipped around to this point of the video. That way you're able to get to the parts of the video you really want to see, but I really always highly recommend you watch the entire video. Okay, so now we have a good understanding of how the progression works. We'll also get higher in the prices from 2000 all the way to 15,000. And then there's a big gap there. So from the 4000 models up to 15, you know, there's the 5850 or the 5800. That's kind of like a gap filler. It's the 5000 model, but then from there it goes from 5,000 up to 15,000. And then there's also 16,000. So you're really from there getting into some of the more specialized models that are wide format, higher quality, really geared towards photo printing. But really, for the sake of this video, we're talking about the 2000 to the 4000 models, and the price does go up progressively because you get more features as you go up as well. All right, so the meat of this video, what I really want to talk about are the improvements to the Epson EcoTank lineup. That is the most important thing to me as a consumer myself, owning Epson EcoTank printers, and for you. What are the features that you will benefit from by upgrading, or maybe you're buying an Epson EcoTank printer for the first time? So number one, you will have faster print speeds. With color, it's slightly faster. With black, it is significantly faster. With color, you're going to have 9 pages per minute versus 8.5 pages per minute. And with black, you're moving up from 15.5 pages per minute to an entire 18 pages per minute. So a really good amount of speed that was added there. And that's one thing that the Epson EcoTank printers, you know, really were missing compared to, like, let's say a Brother printer. A Brother printer had, you know, 17, 20 pages per minute at some points, and the Epson EcoTanks were always kind of lagging behind. All right, number two, there's better Wi-Fi connectivity. So there's actually hardware built in. And so what you have installed in these new Epson EcoTanks is an agile board, which is going to give you stronger Wi-Fi connectivity. And that's really important because have you ever been in a situation where, you know, the Wi-Fi just isn't connecting right to the printer and you're not able to print? Well, this should be an improvement to that. You do have larger paper tray capacities. On some models, you go from a 200 to 250, and so that's a really good upgrade. Now, some of these upgrades do vary depending on which Epson EcoTank printer you actually end up upgrading from. Let's say you're doing the 3850 to the 3950. There's going to be some differences between, some of the upgrades that you do. Like, for example, the 4850 versus the 4950. Those are going to have different upgrades. But generally speaking, these are the upgrades that we have when you were upgrading from the older models to the newer models. Now, you do have an upgraded firmware, and that is going to give you additional support with Windows and with Apple. And there's going to be some different nuances with that. But that's one of the advancements that you will see with the Epson EcoTank lineup. One of the biggest advertising factors for Epson is the page yield. That actually is going up on the new models. You're going from 7,500 to 8,500. A whole 1,000 pages of yield has been added to the new Epson EcoTank printers. That's for black. And for color, you get a little boost as well. You're going from 6,000 to 6,500. So more page yield with the new Epson EcoTank printers. One of the most interesting things that I have seen them add to these new Epson EcoTank printers is that now the black ink is not just regular dye-based ink, it is pigmented ink. What that means for you is that your pictures are going to be significantly better. If you're printing photos, you are going to have significantly better quality because of that pigmented black, which gives a depth to the color and really adds to the photo quality. So really, that is going to be a big factor in upgrading here. Now, lastly, you do have a new sleeker design, more modernized, above the ink compartment, that compartment that kind of flips open so that you can input the ink has, kind of like an LED light on it. I think that's really cool. I really love the new design. So a sleek new design, more modern looking. And so these are really the major upgrades. There are some other ones, and you can check the link down in the description below. I will be leaving some links to the new Epson EcoTank lineups, as well as some products, 502 ink and the maintenance box that would go along with these printers. Those will be linked down in the description below. One of the really nice things with these newer Epson EcoTank printers is actually changing out that maintenance box is really simplified. There are no screws. You simply will pop off a compartment, the back left of the printer, and you can replace the maintenance box very easily. That makes maintenance a whole lot easier for you as well. That maintenance box will be linked down in the description below. When you're buying these printers, you should always buy a maintenance box because that is one of the maintenance items you will have to change out first. So should you make the switch? If you have the money for it, I would say yes. If you are on a budget and you really are satisfied with the printer that you currently have, of course, you keep that printer. But if you wanted faster print speeds, if you wanted higher page yield, if you wanted better Wi-Fi connectivity, if you wanted higher quality photo printing, and you want that newer design, which probably is the last thing you would want, these other things are a lot more appealing, then I would definitely say you should upgrade. And I would also add, you can get a good amount of money if you sell your current Epson EcoTank printer used on eBay or on some other platforms online. You can at least get some of your money back. Just make sure that the most difficult thing with selling printers, and I would know because I sold printers for some years and still do, is the most important thing when you are selling a printer is the packaging. Make sure that there is enough protection for that printer so that there's no damage while being shipped. So just a little bonus in there for you is you can get some money back for your old printer and you can upgrade. It'd be really nice if Epson did what Apple does, where you can send in your old printer and they give you, the new one and give you a credit for the old one, but that's not really how things work. All right, so I really hope that this video ended up being helpful. If it was, please make sure to like the video. Any questions at all, comment below. And if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. And remember all of the product links that are down in the description below as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. I handpicked 2 videos that are here on the screen for you to watch next. Also consider subscribing to this channel. There's so much helpful content for you if you're a printer owner, and it's just good to have a resource like this for you in the future, whether you're dealing with a printer that's not printing well or you need more printer recommendations. So I look forward to seeing you again in another video.